Hey y'all, it's Lindsey and I want to talk about MCT oil today. Back in 2016, I bought my first bottle of MCT oil, and since then I have tried out several different brands. I've tried out liquid MCT oil versus powdered MCT oil, and I have a few thoughts I wanted to share with you. I have not tested every product on the market. There are new companies popping up every day with their version of MCT oil or their products that have MCT oils in them, and it's impossible to keep up with. I have, however, found a brand that I am content with and that I have continued to repurchase several times and continue to do so with Subscribe and Save. Thank you, Amazon, for Subscribe and Save, so I never have to run out of MCT oil. I didn't really jump into using MCT oils until about 2 months into eating in a ketogenic way. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what are the claims of MCT oils. MCT oil is just a medium chain triglyceride oil, and it's just describing the molecular composition of these particular fats. And I found a whole gamut of claimed benefits for MCT oil. Some of them are actually founded in science and others are just hearsay. Some of those claims are that it is antimicrobial and antifungal, that it combats heart disease, that it can give you an energy boost, it's good for your gut health, supports digestion, helps control diabetes, enhances brain function, improves your mood, enhances a keto diet, and promotes weight loss. Like I said, a lot of those are still needing more research. A lot of them have anecdotal stories that are very promising, but they still require more like clinical testing and such. Some of these could be true for you. Some of these could be totally not true for you. I personally do think that it does enhance my ketogenic diet. I do believe it helps improve my mood. I feel much less frustrated with life whenever I've had my MCT oil in my coffee. And I would also say that it is a good solid energy boost for me because hello, it's fat, it's energy for my body. I don't know if it necessarily promotes weight loss or not since I haven't been weighing in on the scale for Lent, so that's yet to be seen for me personally. I have not been using MCT oil every single day since I started eating keto. The first time around I didn't eat it every single day or consume it every single day, and this time around I have not been consuming it every single day. However, for the past 6 days I have been using MCT oil and Kerrygold butter in my coffee as sort of a bulletproof coffee. I'm saying that in air quotes because I'm not buying actual bulletproof branded products. So fatty coffee, butter coffee, keto coffee, however you want to say it. I've been using the MCT oil and the butter in my coffee every morning in place of any dairy products. Obviously, butter is a dairy derivative, but any half and half, any heavy whipping cream, and I have felt much better. It doesn't make me feel quite so heavy, and I really enjoy that and appreciate that a lot. Over the years, I have tested out several different brands. Like I said, I don't still have all of those bottles and containers from 3 years ago up until now because I don't like to hoard trash. So I'll just try to pop up a photo of the products that I have. I've got my Amazon history here showing all the products that I have purchased. The very first one I ever purchased was the Now Foods MCT oil. It was 100% MCT oil. I never reordered the Now brand. Every time I used it in my coffee or in recipes for cooking or anything like that, I always got really itchy in my throat. And so I don't know exactly why I had that response to it, but I only purchased it the one time and I have not tried it again. Maybe that should be the next one I buy just to test it out. I wonder if they have an 8-ounce bottle. So the next brand that I tried out is this Viva Naturals brand. And this is the one that I have purchased most often. I have bought this particular brand 6 times. 6 times. And a bottle like this usually lasts me about 3 months, give or take. But since I've been drinking it in my coffee every single day for this past week, I have a feeling I'll wind up going through this about every 6 weeks. So this particular brand flavorless, odorless. I don't get that itchy feeling in my throat, which I tremendously appreciate. This brand is organic and it is tested. It's got a third-party certification for purity and potency, so I've really liked this Viva brand. So I've continued to repurchase that one. It's reasonably priced. It is organic. It is pure coconut that they extract the MCTs from. So I like the Viva Naturals brand for sure. Another brand that I've tried out is this Bio Optimal. I just finished this one up about 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to hold on to it so that I could do this video. So I have hoarded trash for like 3 weeks. That's kind of weird. So this one is definitely non-GMO, but it is not organic. And this one is pure coconut, no palm kernel oil in this one. Pretty similar in how I responded with this. It did not make my throat itchy. It's a good product. It was consistent for me. I have purchased this one twice. It was totally fine both times. The only thing I like about the Viva Naturals is that it is organic, but this one is just non-GMO, and they are the same price, or at least they were when I bought them. So I feel like if I can get the same price for an organic MCT oil versus a just non-GMO MCT oil, I'm gonna choose the organic because the price is the same. So those are the only 3 liquid brands that I've tried. I have only tried 2 different MCT oil powders. I personally really like powders to be able to travel with, and MCT oils that are powdered travel very well through TSA. They never bat an eye at me whenever I have my little bag full of tiny little packets of MCT oil powder or stevia powder, or I sometimes travel with collagen and just various powders that you can start to acquire whenever you follow a ketogenic lifestyle or Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle or any of those things. So they travel really well. I don't like to use them for daily use because they seem to be just a little bit less easy for me to use, just because like I pull out the scale and I give it a squeeze of the MCT oil, I give it a pat of butter, and I can blend it up really quickly instead of having to open up a, like a screw top lid and scoop it out and tap, tap, tap it in there to make sure that I'm getting the right serving size. Day-to-day use, I prefer liquid. Whenever we're traveling, I prefer powdered. The first brand of powdered MCT oil I tried was the Now Keto brand. This was a non-GMO, gluten-free MCT oil powder, and it was made of pure coconut. It was not adulterated with anything else. I never really had any issues with it clumping terribly while it was in, like the container or in my little tiny Ziploc baggies that I take with me to travel. So I felt like that was a good one. I am repurchasing that one for whenever we take our next trip. The other MCT oil powder that I have tried is from Spearhead Nutrition. And this one and I, we are not friends. I bought this and it I should have read it the labels a whole lot more closely on Amazon. I did buy everything on Amazon, by the way. So this Spearhead Nutrition, I was really excited about it because I thought, oh wow, the price was not a significantly cheaper price than the Now Keto, but I was like, ooh, that looks really interesting. I'll give that one a try. And I wish I would have read the labels more carefully, like I said, because it says it's only 70% oil, which should have been a red flag for me, but it was not. And it turns out this is not pure MCT oil that is converted into a powder. This one is non-GMO MCT oil powder, and then it is tapioca dextrin as a carrier. Now, this is the first product that is an MCT oil that I tried that had any additives to it whatsoever. Everything else I tried was 100% MCTs derived from coconut only. Like, that's the only kind I've purchased to date, and it will continue to be the only kind I purchase in the future. This one had that tapioca dextrin in it. I found that this one clumped horribly. It did not blend easily into my coffee, regardless of how I tried to mix it in. If I tried to like shake it in just tiny bits at a time and continue to mix the entire time, it would still clump. If I put it in the bottom, put a little bit of coffee in the bottom of my cup, and then tried to mix it smooth, it would clump. everything I did with this would make it clump, and the flavor on it was a little bit off compared to the Now Keto brand. And I'm just really disappointed with how that company added the tapioca dextrin to it, and the price was not reflective. Like, it was a little bit less expensive than Now Keto, but there were other lesser expensive pure MCT oil powders on Amazon than the Spearhead Nutrition. And so I felt like that it didn't warrant the price that I paid for it. It was outside of my 30-day window to be able to return it or anything like that. And I did write a review on Amazon talking about how I was really disappointed in it. That, I believe, is all that I have to share with y'all today. I do love having MCT oil in my coffee. It's really easy for me too. I just use a little hand blender like this. This is the Fit and Fresh. You can barely even read it on there anymore. It's so rubbed off. I use that to whisk everything together. Stirring MCT oil into coffee with just a spoon is not gonna cut it. I feel like most people out there know that. The little Fit and Fresh blender thing, that one works really well for me and makes a really good cup of coffee without having to have dairy in it. Obviously, like I said, the butter, negligible dairy, but dairy derived. Anyway, have y'all tried any MCT oils before? And if so, which ones have been your favorite? Like I said, the Viva Naturals is my current go-to. However, I'm always open to trying new MCT oils or different brands than I have already. I don't enjoy spending an arm and a leg on MCT oil, but I am willing to pay a decent price for quality products. And I feel like that's what I get with this brand, as well as the BioOptimal. That's what I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see y'all in the next video.